says, Nicole, will Derek Barnes start at linebacker against the Eagles?
Oh, boy. Yes. I know everyone really wants Rodrigo to start, and I do think he'll be in there. I think he'll rotate with Derek Barnes. It'll be one of them with Anzalone. But, I thought it was interesting that in the last game, Derek Barnes actually wore the green dot. I think that sort of tells you a lot about what they think about him and the role that they're going to want him to play going forward. So I think maybe he gets the start.
Hashtag F New England. Does Nicole see the Lions possibly making a wild card if we stay healthy? Gonna make a playoff? What do you think?
I don't think so. I'm going to stick with my 7 to 9 wins. I actually think Green Bay and Minnesota are going to be pretty good this year. I think even if we have 9 wins, we're not going to sneak into a wild card spot. But any given Sunday, anything can happen. Anything more than 9 wins is just gravy. Just enjoy it. If we do sneak into a wild card spot, I don't think that ends well. So I don't know that it matters all that much.
Steven Likens is Likens Nicole. She says, hashtag Lions. Please have Nicole back more often, Mike. She's killing it again. Yes, she is. Absolutely.
Thank you, Steven.
Yeah, I actually watched you on the draft. I seen you during the draft, and I said, who is that? And I was listening. I was like, God dang, pretty damn knowledgeable. And so when you jumped in my chat, I remembered that. I seen and your name's Douchebagia. How the hell can you forget a name like that? I said, I got to have this. I got to get her on this show. So that's what I did. I do remember it, and especially you got names like Douchebagia. By the way, where the hell did you come up with this name?
Well, the Lionor part, I go by Nicole, but my legal first name's actually Eleanor, so that's where that comes from. And then I was having a conversation with Val Bordeaux over at Detroit Lions on the Prowl. We drank way too much, stayed on the phone way too long, and Aaron Rodgers had just announced he was coming back. And we were so mad because we were sure he was going to retire or go to Denver or just leave us in peace. And instead he came back, and we were talking about his douchey mustache and his douchey man bun. And we realized that as long as he's king of the division, everyone in the NFC North is living in douchebagia. So that's where that comes from.
Man, I'm fully with you. I can't stand that guy. I can't stand that guy. I can't stand anything about him. I got to do it again.
Oh, my God.
That's all of those things at one time with that statement right there. Thank God. Justin Chase, Big Arms himself, he says, hashtag Lions, which free agent linebacker may you like to bring on? Or do we think Suh would ever come back to Detroit? Well, we got to wait for cuts. I want to see what other teams cut. There's going to be linebackers cut. We got the second, I think, selection right now of waiver claims. That's what I want to see. A ton of teams like the Dallas Cowgirls have a ton of linebackers. Maybe the Lions can snag one up. I would love for Suh to come back. Will he? No. Because we have a visit right now with a different defensive tackle, but I love Suh. What do you think about Suh? Did you like him here? I loved him.
Yeah, I liked him as a player. I liked him as a person, too. It seemed like he really got a bad taste in his mouth with Detroit. I don't think it matters that there's been a regime change. We're never going to see him back in Detroit.
Yeah, probably not. If I miss your question, again, I'm not hating. Just reposted, copy and paste. It is what it is. Lions Mania says, hashtag Lions, Jeff Okudah needs to step up. He is the second player with the most pressures behind Goff, of course. Yeah, Nicole's telling her he needs to step up. I think the pressure is very hard on him. This is a big year. It's a make-or-break year for him. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. I think if he doesn't step up this year, if we don't see a huge leap out of him, I don't know how much longer you keep him around.
This goes right back to you. Eleanor, will Jeff Okudah win the starting number 2 cornerback position?
2 days ago, I would have said absolutely, because I thought he was winning it. And that's why Aaron Glenn's comments just really caught me off guard. I still think it's his. I don't think there's any chance Will Harris somehow snatches that role from him.
I think if Will Harris snatched that role from him, I don't think it would ever be let go for Okudah. I think that would be something on his resume that's tarnished him in Detroit. He's already got a tarnished reputation. Having Will Harris beat him, that would be a disaster. That'd be a PR disaster for himself here in Detroit. I think it'd be the end of an era. I think the Lions probably would have to trade him for the trade deadline. That would be what I would think. Mike and Nicole got here late. Chances Kennedy makes the roster over Cephas. I say no. I personally want Cephas over Kennedy. What do you think?
I think Cephas has enough good tape that you could actually use him in a trade. So I wouldn't cut him for Kennedy, but to bring another linebacker in to get somebody in that secondary, I would trade him for that.
Okay, so
and I actually think there's a chance they both make the roster, assuming they don't trade him away.
I agree with you. I think I agree with that. They both make the roster 100%. Trading him away, that's interesting. So let's talk about trades here, because there was a report that Dallas, now they come up, third time on this show, would actually like to trade for Quintez Cephas, maybe their backup quarterback there. Or, like you were saying, a trade, maybe we get a linebacker that can help out immediately. Would you trade Cephas to get a linebacker that could start for the Lions?
In a second. Absolutely. Yeah. And aren't they starting Michael Gallup over there as their number one receiver? They need receivers.
Well, they drafted I think they got their second-year wide receiver there, and then they got Gallup in there, and no longer Cooper is over there for the Dallas Cowboys. So they're hurting for a wide receiver a little bit. So that I can understand why they'd want to trade for one. It'll be interesting to see about that Cephas thing. Question for Nicole. How did Nicole both become a Lions fan? Who is your all-time favorite Lions players, offense or defense? How many Lions jerseys do you own? So that's like a 5 million questions there. First off, how did you become a Lions fan?
Yeah, so I grew up in Grand Rapids. My grandparents lived in Bloomfield Hills. I kind of split my time, and I was one of 8 granddaughters. My granddaddy never got his grandson, and since I was the kid that liked football and hockey and fighter jets, I was the kid that got to go to all the games in the Silverdome. So I grew up going to games at the Silverdome. I remember watching Billy Sims on TV, kind of moving into my favorite player. Obviously, Barry Sanders, BS 20. But man, Billy Sims. I have a 20 jersey upstairs, and it is Sims, not Sanders. So I'm going to say my all-time favorite player is Billy Sims.
Okay. That's nice. I love it. I love the fact that you're from Grand Rapids, 30 minutes from where I'm at. GR, that's where it's at. West Michigan, we repping over here, even though you're in Florida, you lucky bastard. I'd love to be in Florida with that nice weather. It's about to get cold here in Michigan. #Lions. It's simple if the Lions are drafting the top 5 this year. Draft a quarterback. If they draft outside the top 10 and win 7 to 9, most likely hang on to Goff. Thoughts? If we're top 5 draft pick, we got to go quarterback. That means our season was abysmal.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It means we need a new quarterback. But I have to think going into years 3 and 4 that the front office and the coaching staff thinks we can be contenders going into those years. That's kind of how they've built this team. It's how they've presented it. And are you a contender with a rookie QB right out of college? I don't know. I think you need a couple years to develop someone like that. So they would either have to change the plan or you take a veteran QB in FA.
I would keep Goff either way and draft a quarterback and still have Goff here. I think that would be a good way to go. Or
let Goff play backup if the other guy comes in and does well over and get the start.
Or if he's not ready, just play Goff, just like they did over there with San Francisco 49ers and Trey Lance. We've seen it with Patrick Mahomes and Alex Smith. I think that's a sound idea. But I don't think we're going to be a top 5 pick. I think 7 to 9 will probably be outside the top 10. We'll see what happens. But if we're a top 5, hopefully it's because the Rams completely just freaking caved. That would suck if we're there for another top 5 pick. #Matt Patricia can't coach. What would it be like if we win against the Patriots? I'll be so happy if we beat the Patriots because of Pat Patricia. I would be so ecstatic. That's the one game we must win. Look, when Jim Schwartz came to Detroit, they lifted it up in the air when he won. They're not going to do that with Pat Patricia. No one can lift him. Okay, we don't have the Hulk out here. Do you want to win that game just to shut down Patricia's ass?
Yes, that is the only game for me this year that is a must-win game. It's the only one because I can't stand the idea of losing to that douche. It'll make me ill.
Seeing him smile, or a post press conference, you know they would have him on there, and God, that would really, really suck to have to deal with that. Hashtag Lions. Do you think the Lions should consider a trade for Devin Bush? That one's interesting. I got to ask this before. I don't know how much you would have to get for Devin Bush. We're talking what? This would be his 4th year in the NFL. Be a good linebacker to have. I don't know what the cost would be. What I call? Yeah, I'm definitely going to call. I think he'd help out the Lions. What do you think about Devin Bush?
I don't have any thoughts on Devin Bush. I just don't think we're going to make any moves like that.
She says, to the na-na, 28 more likes to 100. 28 more likes, folks. We got 170 in the building, and we got 28 likes to go to 100. Lions Rumble, he's saying get it done. Why? Because it makes this stream get out there. What is going on, Cy Gray? I haven't heard from you in like 10 years. What's going on, man? What is going on? Appreciate you jumping in here. Hashtag Lions, does Jackson make number 4? This is a great question by John Ball. Jackson, out of nowhere. He kind of reminds me of Craig Reynolds last year. Gets in there and just does a good job at the running back position. He looked fast. He looked decisive. You got Jamar Jefferson. Not so much. Do you think that Jackson could potentially make the roster? It's going to have to be over Godwin Igwebuike, though.
Yes, I have him as my number 4 right now. I really will be watching him closely in the game this Sunday. I'm not a huge fan of Jamar or Godwin for that matter. I would much rather have Justin in there and have Maurice Alexander as the returner.
Oh, man. I'm 100%. That's exactly. Look, I like Godwin's speed, but he fumbles. We seen it last year. I called him Godwin Igwe fumble. And you can't turn the ball over and win games. That's what's going to kill you for the Lions. And we can't take any chances like that. We get screwed over a million times. So at least with Jackson, he's shown that speed, but he also shown that he can hold on to the football. We still got another game to go. I'm with you fully. I'd love for Jackson to be number 4. And Jamar, he's just not showing it. He's not shown me that he's made that leap. Kind of feels like he went a little bit backwards from last year, and that's not a good thing.